Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Emerge Wrestling Showcase. Special day for us. It is the predictions show card rundown for EMERGE13 Outbreak. And, I was doing this, I was doing a little bit of homework last night looking over the card, and it was only then that I truly got... I realized how great this card is going to be.
I'm really excited for what the card is going to have in store for us, Casey. And by the way, that is a really nice tie. I really like the design on it.
Yeah, I wore it so you wouldn't be the only tool in the room.
Well, hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richie Stevens, and apparently I'm not the only tool in the room today.
Yeah. You were, though, before I put on the tie.
That's
Either
fantastic.
way, though, I keep saying this, but... I think this is the best card that Emerge has ever put together. This is possibly going to be show of the year. But then again, if I know Dave Dynasty, EMERGE13 will somehow figure out a way to top it.
That is true. Dave always has something up his sleeve to impress us at the next show.
Yep. EMERGE13, 6 days away. Yay! 6 days away, and I cannot wait. Now, a lot of interesting things are happening, but interestingly enough, starting out again with a pre-show match. Pre-show match was very well received at the last show. We had more people lined up when the doors opened than we ever had before, and we are not going to disappoint them again this time. Mance Warner and King Crush tag team face off against a couple newcomers, the Sharpshooter Luke Lawson and the Urban Ninja Jay Maddox, and this is going to be an incredible match.
Oh, yes it is, Casey. I'm definitely siding with King Crush and Mance Warner. I feel like they both have some redeeming they want to do since both of their losses at Emerge 12 Consequences.
Yeah, Mance Warner and King Crush here, both at this point veterans of Emerge. Mance a little bit newer. Mance made his debut, and he was incredibly impressive. He had pretty perfect on the ropes there for a while, but King Crush, of course, a little bit of a streak of bad luck, you might say.
Yeah.
That being said, however, he is hungry, he is young, and I think he's ready to fight. Urban Ninja Jay Maddox, who they're going up against, incredible young competitor, and Luke Lawson, the Sharpshooter, is a guy who I'm getting extremely psyched to see. Luke Lawson is, I think, one of the brightest young stars on the wrestling scene. With all of that being said, he just got out of the School of Rock, and of course we've had so many people come through Emerge from the School of Rock, guys like Sage Phillips, Mance Warner, and he is an incredible young talent. Just actually few weeks ago competed in the Chikara Young Lions Cup, and our viewers out there might be thinking, Chikara, I've heard that name. Yes, it's one of the greatest independent promotions in my opinion. It's a promotion that I follow, and they have had a lot of skilled people on their roster throughout the years, like, well, these people. So a lot of skilled...
Now, hold on, Casey. Wasn't Bob Saget and Dave Coulier supposed to be on that list?
Yes, they were on that list.
And did they wrestle?
No, they didn't wrestle. They were each the commissioner of Chikara for a few years apiece. That's kind of interesting. I like the fact that once Bob Saget left the company, they got another guy from Full House.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the demographic that you're going for?
It was at this point in the broadcast that Richie and Casey began to share memories of Full House and their anticipation for Fuller House, completely forgetting the simple fact that they were recording a wrestling show. This clip has been removed, however will be inserted at the end of this broadcast should you want to hear their thoughts.
Sharpshooter Luke
Yes.
Lawson added to the list of the guys who have been through Chikara, and he has a bright as a future as anybody, I think, here in Emerge, and not only here in Emerge, but all over the world. This guy really could go far. And Richie, this is the pre-show match.
Wow. This is
the pre-show match, and it only gets better from here. Personally, I'm actually going with Sharpshooter and Jay Maddox. I think Luke Lawson's going to impress, but either way, we haven't even gotten to the actual card yet. Here we go. Outbreak Championship #1 Contenders Tournament starts off with Trevor Court, Brett Havoc, and Cole Radrick. Now, we had an incredibly well-received three-way match last month at Emerge 12 Consequences. Fans really liked it, and so Dave Dynasty says, okay, how about 4 in the course of one card? Looks to be fantastic, and the winners from each of the 3 qualifying matches face each other later in the night in another 3-way to determine a #1 contender, and this is going to be fantastic. And we're starting off with the greatest show on earth, Trevor Court, beautiful Brett Havoc, and the last true fighter, Cole Radrick. Now, Trevor Court is a guy who has not been to Emerge in a while. Last time we saw him, I believe, is when he was fighting Joe Pittman, and he put up a fantastic fight in that match, ended up losing. However, he is an incredibly impressive young competitor. Beautiful Brett Havoc. We saw him at the outdoor show, Downtown Throwdown. And then, of course, there's Cole Radrick.
Yeah, Cole Radrick is probably going to be my pick for this one, Casey. I mean, the kid, I can see him starting to evolve and become a better wrestler. And I feel like he also has some redeeming moments after losing twice to Aaron Anarchy. And
yeah, that's true. And I think we would be remiss at this point if we didn't, because we had already taped Showcase for last week, and just before Showcase was released, a bombshell dropped on Emerge. And considering Cole Radrick is here in this match, I think it's the right time to talk about the Hellfire Club.
yeah, it's Jeremy Hadley, Sage Phillips, and Cole Radrick, and
they're all represented by Christopher Icon. This is a dangerous group, man. And
I was overwhelmed.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't believe it because I didn't know
I was
anything
screaming
about
on
it.
the inside, and because I was just sitting at work, I just get a notification, Hellfire Club.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
And Christopher Icon said that this will be a name that people will be afraid to say, and judging by how this is going, I'm inclined to agree that we might have another Voldemort situation on our hands. And Cole Radrick here will be as cocky and confident as ever now that he just got signed by Christopher Icon. And truth be told, I've been high on Cole Radrick for a long time. I think he's one of the better young stars in wrestling today. And I'm going to go with Cole Radrick as well.
I am too. I'm just overwhelmed with how good this card is.
Yeah, me too. But it doesn't stop there. Keep in mind, we're only one match into the card. Another 3-way coming up. Jeremy Hadley versus Anthony Totelli versus Malcolm Monroe III. And holy crap, dude.
Jeremy Hadley, he's got my pick. He was my pick last time when he was going up against Donnie Idol, and I'm still going to stick with him. He impressed me. He definitely made an impression on me, Casey, and I'm gonna.
Well, speaking of people who made an impression, at the last show, Anthony Totelli.
Yes.
Good Lord, this kid is talented. He can fight, and I'm actually going with him here in this match. I think he'll pull it out, but either way, this is going to be a fantastic match.
I was a little intimidated by him, Casey.
He is, he does have that fighter's instinct. He does have that look, and if it wasn't enough there, we have another 3-way. another qualifying match. Kyle Maverick versus Donnie Idol versus the Prodigy, Zachary Wentz. Now, we would be remiss not to say originally John Wayne Murdoch was supposed to be in this match. However, I think we're all aware of what happened with Daniel Bryan and him retiring due to concussion-related issues, and John said that he would at least take some time off. He doesn't know if he'll be back into the ring. Just right off the bat, huge respect to him, and we hope to see him back in the ring at some point. But in his place is the Prodigy Zachary Wentz, who is another fantastic young competitor against Donnie Idol and Kyle Maverick in what will be another potential match of the night.
I'm torn here, Casey.
Right?
I'm torn because, I mean, I just picked Jeremy Hadley, and I want to pick Donnie Idol as my pick because I kind of want to see the Donnie Idol Jeremy Hadley face off again.
That would be incredibly interesting, and I am, even though I'm not going with Jeremy, I am going with Anthony Totelli. I am going with Donnie here.
Yeah. So, but you can see where I'm kind of torn.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That Jeremy's my pick, but I really like Donnie, and Donnie's a good pick. I mean, Kyle Maverick, I had some huge respect for.
Yeah.
And I would like to see him and Anthony go up against each other. But
yeah, and here's the interesting thing here with Anthony Totelli and Kyle Maverick. Both of them were in the three-way
last
so they're already ready to being in three ways. I'm taking Donnie Idol in this one, though. I think Donnie Idol, we heard from him not long ago. He is angry at what happened last month, and he will do whatever he has to do. And you got to think here, even if Jeremy Hadley doesn't win his match, we'll probably see him here in this match.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. And then the winners of those first three matches will face each other in another three-way. So,
well, I mean, that's intense because if we get Cole Radrick and Jeremy Hadley and Donnie Idol, we have two of the Hellfire Club.
Exactly. So they're obviously going to work together. And plus the fact that Jeremy hates Donnie anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
And if we've seen one thing over the course of wrestling history with, groups of people that band themselves together, as factions or whatever you might say, if one person has a problem with somebody, everybody has the problem with that person as well. That's
true. And it looked like Anthony Totelli and Kyle Maverick definitely had a problem with Kenneth James last month, and we saw how that kind of worked out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's interesting because we do have different picks as to who's going to be in this match.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I will say though, over the course of this entire tournament, everybody from every three-way, they got to win two matches to get. Let's look at it this way: who do you think's going to win the tournament and get the Outbreak title shot?
I'm gonna side with my boy Cole. I think Cole's got a great shot.
Ironic, considering I'm going with Cole too. Cole is one of the most talented, and let's look at if Totelli, Donnie, and Cole are the last match, then I think Cole has enough skill to beat them. That being said, though, if Donnie, Jeremy, and Cole are in there, then number one, I don't think Jeremy cares about the Outbreak title.
No.
He's not focused on Chris Caliber anymore. He's focused on Donnie. And furthermore, he doesn't want Donnie to win because if Donnie gets a title shot against Caliber, then Jeremy doesn't get another shot at Donnie.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, I think Jeremy would be willing
to give it to
Cole
and
promote the rest of the Hellfire Club.
And this would be a great start for Cole Radrick, his next step at coming the next big thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, too, if one thing's for sure, Jeremy's going to make sure that Donnie doesn't win.
Yeah.
Because, again, if he gets that title shot, then Jeremy doesn't get... So I'm going with Cole Radrick here to win the tournament. And the winner of the tournament faces the winner of the next match that we're going to talk about in Chris Caliber versus Conniving Kenneth James for the Outbreak title. And these matches are just getting better and better.
And I feel like I'm being more torn apart, Casey. It's tearing me inside, but when it comes down to picking, I know I'm probably going to side with Kenneth James on this one.
Kenneth James is an incredible competitor. He knows how to pick apart his opponent better than possibly anybody else on the Emerge roster, though. I'm going to go with Chris Caliber. I think Chris is going to be the Outbreak champion for a while. It's going to take an incredible young competitor to even get a shot at beating him. And I want to give Kenneth James credit. Kenneth James is incredible. He's a great fighter, but I think I'm going to go with Chris Caliber on this, and it'll be interesting to see nevertheless. And I mean, there are things that we're agreeing on so far. There are things that we're disagreeing on so far.
I want to say something about this match.
Do it.
Both men definitely have their work cut out for them. Kenneth James is a very barbaric man. When it comes to his style, he will hurt you to hurt you. He doesn't care if you're in pain or not.
I'm not positive he even cares about the title.
No, he's just going in to beat people up.
And I mean, if he... Truthfully, the title might just be another weapon he can use.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is... And I want to take an opportunity to say... We have already probably... just with these 5 matches that we've already talked about, and probably the best card that has ever been put together by Emerge, we are still 2 matches away from the end, and it's only getting better and better. I'm going to tell you people this, and I want you to look at me, okay? I want you to look. Actually, that's kind of a little weird when you do it.
You said to look at you, so I'm looking at you.
Talking to them.
Oh, okay.
Either way, though, if you don't have your tickets, I'm not sure what kind of rock you've been living under. I'm not sure where you've been. Get your tickets.
We have ours.
I don't think you understand how tickets work. But either way, get your tickets. Get a hold of Dave. Get a hold of Ricky. Go to EMERGE13.com. We are 2 matches away from the end of this card, and it's already going to be probably one of the most action-packed, because those 3-ways always break down.
Yeah.
And so not only that, but you're going to have a couple of people in Kenneth James and Chris Caliber who are going to straight up brawl, because they are both heavy hitters. And so that'll be a great match. And then on top of all of that, I mean, even if we ignore the pre-show match, which is going to be fantastic, the 8-Bit Punks clash against Pretty Perfect. And I know you're looking forward to this more than anything else.
Oh, Casey, I've been trying to put play-by-plays together. I've watched both matches from the last 2, or from last month's Emerge, and I'm so torn, but I gotta side with the 8-Bit Punks.
You're going with the 8-Bit Punks?
I'm going with the 8-Bit Punks. I mean, Pretty Perfect's starting out, but they're going up against veterans, and they're still the champions.
Yeah, and I think, the champion always has a slight edge going in. I am actually going to go with Pretty Perfect. I mean, they work together as a team in ways that I haven't seen in a long time. They reminded me of truth be told, they reminded me of a lot of the teams that we've seen in the history of wrestling that changed wrestling. Like, they know how to work together, they know how to cut off the ring, and I love the 8-bit punks. I love the fact that they have fun doing what they do. But when it comes down to it, I think Pretty Perfect might be the tag team of the future here at Emerge. And I can tell this is hurting you.
It is. I've been laying in bed just looking at my ceilings like, who's gonna win? I don't know. I have respect for both teams, but when it comes down to it, I have to side with the 8-bit punks. Aaron and Damien are great guys, and they're even better wrestlers, and I have to side with them.
All right, so we differ on that. So, Richie, if you know, we're 6 of the 7 matches down, right? And we've had 4 3-ways. We've had a new number 1 contender named. We've had an Outbreak title shot.
Yep.
And we've had the tag team championships.
Yeah.
If there was one thing that could make this card better, what would it be?
A tag table match.
Tables, people! Tables! That's right. Main event time here. The Mastodon, the Emerge heavyweight champion, JD Mariani, and the Midwest Monster, Jacob Johns, of course, along with Nikki versus Poison Apollo Star and Remy Wilkins. And oh my lord. And I know you need to take a second to get your thoughts together. I need to take a second to get my thoughts together. And truth be told, we caught up with Apollo Star just a couple days ago. And so we will take you now to see what he had to say.
Poison Apollo Star at Emerge 12. JD Mariani and Jacob Johns attempted to put you through a table. Well, what was your reaction to that?
Well, you know, not only am I, but the whole Emerge Nation is so tired of this Beauty and the Beast thing and this evil Nikki Mariani and JD Mariani and his group of thugs, and we're getting so tired of it that I feel like it's time to do something about it. Now tonight, Mariani, I'm starting to think I got your number. I'm starting to think I got your number because the last time I had you reeling and you had your lady interfere and you got me and I lost. And this time I had you reeling and you had one of your goons come out and you tried to put me through a table. So I think I'm going to even the odds. So next time I come to Emerge Wrestling, I'm going to bring my man, Remy Wilkins, a.k.a. he and I, the Circle City Collabo, and we are going to take it to you and your goons in a tag team tables match.
There you have it.
Boom.
Well, Apollo Star here definitely ready for the match, ready to put somebody through a table. And folks, I want you to know, while that entire video was playing, he didn't move.
Nope. I didn't.
Because if there is, we almost said there was nothing that could make this card better, but 2 people are going through tables.
And that's going to be Apollo and Remy, Casey. I'm going to say those 2 are going to go through the table because Jacob Johns and JD Mariani, they're big guys. They're
That's
hard
true.
to get off their feet.
That's true.
And yes, Remy and Apollo are pretty strong guys, but I doubt they're going to be able to get one of them on a table and put them through it.
I mean, we've talked before about Jacob Johns, the fact that Jacob Johns, sometimes you can't even get him off his feet for the entire match until he decides to land on you.
Exactly. And I'm going to take a moment here, Casey. I've been looking forward to this match ever since the end of Emerge 12 Consequences. When JD went next to us and pulled the table out from under the ring,
Oh, my Lord.
the anxiety kicked in.
Yeah.
We got up and moved.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I had my drink in my hand, Casey. I didn't. I just got up.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was gone. Chris was like, "We need to move."
It was like a couple of weeks ago when we talked about it. You got to keep the Mountain Dew safe.
Yeah, definitely.
It's an instinct at this point. But either way, two people are going through tables.
And that's when the anxiety kicked in more, when Dave was like, you know what? Let's make this a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Let's make it a tables match.
Because it was interesting because, Dave said, hey, tag team match. And everybody was excited about the tag team match. I think it was going to be a match that was going to be, I think, a classic from the moment that he said it. But then JD Mariani, a lot of things can be said about him. He likes to push it. He likes to kind of step his toe across the line a little bit, and we were on the other side of the ring because we had gotten out of there because that is the smart thing to do, and JD and Jacob Johns kind of kept stalking Dave, which we've seen. And
I remember standing behind Dave, and I was terrified, but Dave would protect us.
Yeah, Dave. If you're gonna get to us, you got to go through Dave Dynasty, and oh boy. But either way, I think Dave kind of lost it there for a second.
I think something in him snapped.
Yeah, because it has been, we have seen at the first show that I worked at, I was running camera, and JD Mariani pinned, Dave Dynasty in the corner and demanded his shot against Don out. JD has been running roughshod, and I think
he's
Dave's
he's not a fan of you right now either. We kind of got a glimpse of that last week.
Yeah,
last month.
Here's the thing about JD Mariani. All right,
he likes me.
Yeah, he likes you just fine, which is mind-boggling. That being said, though, JD is just a bully. That's what he is. And listen, we both very recently just graduated.
Yes.
Just me last year, you 2 years ago. And we were taught about bullies in school.
I got picked on all the time.
Yeah, me too. I mean, look at us. Do we look like people who didn't get bullied? Either way, JD, that's all that I view him as. It's not going to be this thing. JD's just a bully as far as I'm concerned, and I'm just going to do my best to ignore him. But either way, I respect the guy as an in-ring competitor. I don't like his methods. I don't like his personality. But he produces dividends.
I gotta say, I was talking to JD the other day, and I just thought he was just the most wonderful person ever. I thought he was just an absolutely fantastic guy.
I'm going to go with Apollo Star and Remy Wilkins on this one. Obviously, we've seen great things out of Apollo.
Oh, by far.
And he is bringing in, you can tell with Apollo and Remy that they know each other. And they are an incredibly experienced team. And I sent in, whenever EMERGE brings in somebody for a show, a lot of times I'll message them on Facebook. I'll say, do you have any moves you want me to look out for or whatever? And I asked Remy that, and he sent me back like the biggest list of the most impressive moves. And I cannot wait to see this guy in person. I've never gotten to see him in person, and it's going to be awesome. And I think, Apollo and Remy are going to work incredibly well together. And I think, you talk about lifting them up to get them through the table. That's a fantastic point. But if they can isolate one member of the team of Beauty and the Beast, two guys can pick up one guy. I promise you that much.
That is true. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's mind-boggling, Casey.
Yeah, it's.
But I'm not gonna change my mind. We know how I feel about Nikki being a fantastic person and a great wrestler, and she's brilliant. I'm I'm gonna still side with JD Mariani and Jacob Johns.
Truth be told, though, as we look at this, I mean, I'm sure that the viewers have been able to tell, like, we are incredibly torn about all of these matches.
Yeah.
These matches are going to be so good, and it's going to come down to one mistake that one person makes in each of these matches. Listen, we only made picks because we had to make picks. It doesn't matter even at this point, I think, who wins the matches. This is going to be one of the most fantastic events that I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait. And tickets.
$10.
Yeah,
you need to get them now. We were sold out last month. You don't want to miss this.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. A few days ago, I went to SmackDown. We paid $45 for tickets. And you know, I had a great time. It was a fantastic show. Got to see my boy AJ Styles in action live for the first time. You can't beat that. Except you can. 4 3-ways. Tables, tag team,
8-bit punks.
Yeah, Outbreak title match. This is going to be a fantastic show. This is going to blow the SmackDown taping that I went to out of the water. And guess what? $10.
Yeah.
$10, dude.
Great seats,
Yeah,
right ringside.
There's no bad seat there. Although the only bad seat is if you have to stand, because we sold out last month. There were people who had to stand last month.
And they still enjoyed the show.
They still enjoy the show. And if you want to stand, that's your prerogative. But let me tell you what, you need to get these tickets now because they will sell out. Because this show is going to be the best show in Emerge history. I'm calling it now. I'm telling you this. I've seen a lot of Emerge.
I'm going to second it, Casey. I'm seconding it.
This is going to be the best show in Emerge. So go, EMERGE13.com, message Dave Dynasty, message Ricky Ruckus. Whatever you have to do to get these tickets, do them.
Yeah. And feel free to talk to us not during the show because we'll be, of course, commentating.
Yeah,
but
my grandma tried that last month and it didn't work out well.
We just told her to go.
Yeah, it's not like I'm being mean to my grandmother. She just kind of walked up as we were doing commentary, and I truly don't think she realized we were doing commentary. She was bringing you a tie because we forgot your tie.
Unprepared.
Yeah, that pretty
Grandma
much
saved the day.
That pretty much describes your life. But
yeah.
Either way, banter aside, you know, we like to have fun doing our job. Mm-hmm. And often we do that, you know, through the use of banter. That being said, we're not going to have to do any of that at EMERGE13 Outbreak because we are going to have fun doing our job, just sitting there calling the action.
Yep.
And I cannot wait. So, you know what? Here's you know the saying, early to bed, early to rise.
Yeah.
The sooner we end this show, the sooner Emerge happens. Good night.
Hello, this is Richie Stevens, and I just wanted to remind you guys to get all of your Emerge merchandise at EMERGE13.com. We have t-shirts, DVDs, and our tickets are available for Emerge events. You don't want to miss out on these awesome deals. Check them out.
What are you trying to hit there where you're like, you know, we could have gotten somebody from the Facts of Life, Family Ties. No, we got...
Full House was like one of the top shows and still is.
Full House was amazing, dude. I cannot wait for Fuller House.
Oh, I know. I'm super excited. I'm gonna wake up at 4 a.m. on Friday morning and I'm gonna binge watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Okay, so in the trailer,
yes.
Like if you pause for a couple of seconds, there's a small shot in there. There's a wrestling ring at some point.
We talked about that the other day, and I was kind of concerned because you never think wrestling in Full House is
and they're like they're dancing on this stage, and the stage is right up next to the ring, which is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
Either way, though, it should be awesome because I have a lot of good memories of Full House.
Oh, I do too. I mean, Full House taught me a lot of life lessons.
Yeah, and I think Did we just do that?
I think we did.
All right. I'll have to cut it out. It's all right. I'll put it at the end for anybody that sticks around to the end.
Sorry, we forgot.
We forgot we were recording our wrestling show for a second.
Sorry, Dave.